Alright guys, we're back at it. Welcome back. Alright, so we got an issue going on. Because if you've been following, I recently did my oil housing filter. But I did something wrong with the manifold. Can you take a guess what I did? So as you see, I'm heading somewhere. Almost there. My boy, he's he wouldn't call himself that, but I'm gonna call him that. He's a genius when it comes to just mechanic stuff, because he's an airplane mechanic, but he's just a mechanic. He's a wizard pretty much. And yeah, so I'm going to see him, and we're going to shift. I don't know why that took so long to shift. I mean, I know why, because I reset the adaptations of the throttle body, and when it was learning, I was pushing it on the highway instead of doing it on the street. But anyway, that's another video for another day. Sorry if you're hearing a lot of wind noise and whatnot. But yeah, this is the exciting one, as I haven't seen this type of video on the YouTube ether. So we'll see what we can do and who we can help. That's what I care about. Who I can help. Who's ever in a situation like this, because you never know. Never know when your car is gonna get pulled, right? So I ain't gonna bore you guys with footage just this way, so show you guys this and where we're gonna be working at. Almost there. Do a little baby pull. I get shot with a little baby pull. Alright, pulling up. Yeah, you see it, you know where we are. Some GTA type stuff right here, man. This big boy stuff right here, which y'all know. I'm gonna show you guys my boy's car. So my boy got a Subi, but it is tuned to the max. My boy coming right now. We're at an airplane hangar. So, yeah, that's where we're doing our mods today. Because my boy's an airplane mechanic, and he's also getting his pilot's license as well too. So he got the hookup. I've been here before to do my so like there was like a little clip piece on my exhaust. The actuator that actuates if you wanted to be in sport plus mode, then lets the burbles come out. So that piece came off or something happened, and I had to buy a piece, so he helped me do that. What we ended up doing was I turned the car on, and then I had to turn it into sport plus mode for us to clip it on, because we couldn't get the angle right. But this is way before I was doing YouTube. But yeah, man. Well, let me show you guys this Subi. So I forgot, he can explain it, but you see, real deal. He ain't playing around. Yeah. My boy Mike does this, so like I said, I'll have him kind of introduce his car, introduce himself to the channel. But yeah, super excited for this one.
That's their rule.
Yeah. Real deal. That's the magic Mike, the magic mechanic. He put me in this room until he's done. He has to finish up some stuff, but that is Mike. Will do a proper intro. So pretty much with this, so when he's doing that, I'm gonna just be doing some edits, finishing up some edits. But pretty much what we're doing, and I'll show you. I know some of y'all gonna roast me or just laugh, but when I was torquing down my intake manifold, the first nut, I was using ChatGPT, watching the forums and everything, and they were saying you need to torque it down to a certain spec. So you kind of get what I'm saying without me saying it. I over torqued and stripped my first bolt or the nut in the first slot of the intake manifold. Because I was trying to torque it to like, I think it's like 10 feet-pounds or foot-pounds or whatever, and I was just like, oh, it's there, and and it was just spinning, and I'm just like, so yeah, we're gonna use a helix coil and some other maneuvers to kind of just pretty much just simplistic terms, if nobody's as technical or somebody's watching that's not as technical. Pretty much we're going to refit it or regroove it so that the bolt can actually snug down. I haven't actually, thank God, I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't gotten any major alerts or whatnot, or any overheating or whatnot like that. But still, because I am stage 2 plus tuned, aggressive tuned, and I have that high pressure TU pump now, I want to definitely make sure that I am being responsible, and don't want to start a fire, because that's how fires can start if you guys didn't know. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'll have a little overview of what we're doing, introduce Mike and whatnot. So, but yeah, Mike's a super dope person. Met him through the job I'm at now, and just been brothers ever since. So like I said, you'll see his personality. He gonna act chill and cool, but he, like I said, he get hyped up like me. So all right, guys, thanks for tagging along this far. And if you don't know, welcome to the channel. This is DBX. I have a tuned 2016 340 BMW 340i that is tuned on boot mod stage 2 plus aggressive tune. The mods to the car, we have a high pressure TU pump, a catless downpipe from, I forgot the brand at this point, lower or monoball bushing lower control arms from Millway, Motor Raceway, or Motor whatever, Millway. We also have a carbon fiber front strut brace, and that's it. Oh, and cold air intake from MST. So that's that. And yeah, and welcome to the Thunderdome. Nah, I'm messing with you. It's just going on way too far. So this is the inside of a airplane engine. I know what that is. So it's an oil filter. That's the only thing I know. I'm pretty sure I can figure out other stuff. It's just probably different orientation. Okay, I think this might be the exhaust exit. Yeah, this is a muffler. Okay, I know a little bit. Yeah, it's real deal. So this is Magic Mike, everybody. He is
What's up?
I'm calling him a master mechanic. He is a wizard when it comes to this stuff. So he is helping your boy out, because obviously I do not know what I'm doing. So let me move this out the way for him. Move that out the way for you. It's just jumping like Jordan.
Yeah, she don't want to come out. A lot worse.
All right, Mike, what did I do?
Well, you got to be careful whenever you're tightening anything with aluminum, because even though this is a steel bolt, it got a little bit over torqued, probably due to a bad manufacturing on the bolt itself, but over being torqued and taken out, put back in over time, the bolt itself just snapped.
Damn.
So, you got to be really careful as you tighten things down. You can't just go full Ugga Dugga mode on everything.
And I went full Ugga Dugga mode. Yeah, so we see in there.
Thankfully, what that means though is those threads should still be good.
Okay.
Given the fact that this broke at the outside of the threads. So what we can do is really safely and sketchily put an extractor in there, pull those threads out, and possibly get you another bolt. Although this is a specialty order bolt. So this isn't something that you can get in advance.
Okay. Alright guys, so Mike the Wizard let me know that this is a specialty bolt because BMW wants to use plastic. So I'll let Mike explain it.
So this bottom bubble detent grabs onto the bottom mating surface of the intake manifold that attaches to the head. This top part of the head here with its locking surface, the reason those cuts are there is so whenever it grabs into the plastic, it really locks it so it doesn't just vibrate loose. It's just an extra super bougie way of holding this bolt torqued properly. These threads here then go into the head itself, and that's obviously just how it holds in. So this bubble flange portion is for the bottom part of the intake manifold. This head here on the bolt at the top is for the top of the intake manifold. Squeezes evenly.
Okay. Alright guys, so you heard it from Mike. So if you over torque it, or maybe it was a manufacturer defect, we'll see, but it's getting fixed now. So
this is how we're going to attempt to fix the issue. What we're going to try and do is use a snap-on master kit extraction here. This is for SAE, but a lot of these sizes will work with metric as well. So I'm going to size up roughly about, I want to be very generous with the sizing of these left-hand drill bits. So I'm going to attempt to drill into the threads in the block there a little bit. And start the hole with this. Hopefully sometimes the left-hand drill bits can actually unthread by themselves. It'll just get a good grip and it'll unthread. Sometimes that doesn't work. So then the second option is to take one of these guys here, and then what you do is you hammer it into that hole that you had already drilled, give it a good tap, and then in theory, these left-handed coarse threads will grab into the hole that you had just drilled, and it should pull the threads of the bolt that snapped out.
okay.
And if that doesn't work, then we have something a little bit more aggressive over here, which unfortunately I already know that this isn't going to fit into past the intake manifold. But if everything goes to shit, we can take off the intake manifold, send one of these guys down in there, and I trust these will do the job.
Okay. What we're about to do is we're getting a fog machine. We took this air filter off. We're gonna put it in there, and then we're gonna see if this is leaking. So good news, I was able to call BMW. They do sell these by the bolt or nut. So yeah, you guys can get them if you over torqued it, or for my case, if it broke off. Hopefully you can drill into it and then unscrew it. And we can do that, but it requires me to take this off. And also too, a good rule of thumb, because my boy Mike just got my ass a little bit. You guys, every time you take the intake manifold off, it's a good measure to replace the gasket every time, because it's a matter of not if, but when you have a leak. So every time you take this guy off, you have to replace the intake manifold gaskets. So I did not know that. So yeah, so yep, like I said, we're gonna be moving. This is probably gonna be a part 2, but yeah guys, just like I said, I just wanted to put this in the YouTube ether, because you never know who might need this. And it's just like, oh my god, I was looking for this video and all that stuff, because I know I've been down that rabbit hole where I'm like, I wish somebody would have made a video about this. Would have been so much more easier. So here that video is, going for this particular situation. But yeah, also too, man, it's just good to have friends, brothers that are just have experts in all different types of fields. So yeah, man, it's pretty cool. This is where he works on his planes. He's training to be a pilot as well too, so he's getting his hours in. And yeah, man, shit, that might be the thumbnail. And that is Thor Blue, man. It's just undefeated, man. Just so undefeated. It's such a pretty car. Every time I think about giving up on the car, I'm like, man, bump this car. It just had these looks, these stances. It's just like these angles. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. right, Mike, what are we doing?
So I wanted to do a fog test with the engine off, but unfortunately my fog machine just broke right before we got to do this. So we got to go with good old trusty soapy water.
There we go.
So the test that we're doing right now is we have the engine running, and I'm going to spray soapy water in the general area of where we think that the leak could be. So if it is leaking, the intake is pulling the air in, so it would also be pulling in the water. That would make the engine stumble or kind of hiccup a little bit. It would cause just like a little misfire because obviously water can't burn.
Yep.
So just gonna see if we hear any hiccup or stumbling or engine roughness. Usually if it's bad, you can see the engine actually kind of shake a little bit. So we're just gonna douse the area a good bit. Now it should be pulling in. If it has any leak, it's gonna be pulling in from this area. Thankfully, in the current state, you should be seeing it by now. So, as of right now, it's passing the test. It's saying that there's no leak. I'm not feeling anything wrong with the engine, no hiccup, no nothing. If you don't have good ears like me and you listen to music too loud all the time, sometimes it helps just to put your hand on it.
Yep.
Because you can feel the heartbeat of the car. You can feel those power pulses.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going here, in theory, you'd feel a change or hear a change, but I got nothing.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do,
On this side.
spray in here, just a little bit. You don't ever want to spray a lot. You don't ever want to spray a lot. But I think it's a little bit too foamy. Look up there.
Okay, say it again, Mike. You said there was a hiccup?
Yep, yeah, so it took a little bit to actually get past the turbo, but eventually it did get there, and I felt a singular hiccup.
Okay. So what does that indicate?
So what that indicates is clearly this will stop the burn of the engine, causing a hiccup. It won't fire right. I felt it from here, which is obviously where your intake is, and I didn't feel it here.
Okay.
So as of right now, I could say with a very high confidence that his intake manifold is not leaking currently.
Okay.
Which is very good.
It is very good. That means I can go wide out with throttle. WOT. I wouldn't push it.
I wouldn't push you
I
off,
wouldn't push it.
but theoretically, yes.
Okay. But like I said, we are having a bolt coming on Tuesday, so this will get replaced. And yeah.
Yep.
Okay. The master mechanic may have came out with something.
So this is an idea, not the best in the world, but it's what we got.
Okay.
So since we don't have another intake manifold gasket, we can't just take the intake manifold off and get enough clearance to use the master kit.
Mm-hmm.
So I found a way that might work. So I also, for some reason, don't have a magnetic socket. So my extractor, I decided to put a little rubber band in there to keep it in place and hold it nice and tight.
Mm-hmm.
And I found another drill bit that I'm going to use. So this is a 7/64 size drill bit, which is slightly smaller than this 1/8 extractor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that I can just drill in a little bit, take this, hammer it into the threads, and then use that and nice and slowly extract.
Walk it out.
Hopefully it all comes out.
All right, let's see. Let's do it.
So, tech tip, if you're ever doing any sketchy drilling, you should do this whenever you drill anything, but if you're doing some sketchy drilling, I recommend getting a center punch. Sometimes they come as just a solid punch where you hit it with a hammer. Those are great. I prefer using this one. It's automatic, so whenever you push in, it's got a little slide hammer that lets go, and it causes a little indent. That indent, A, gives you a center piece to follow, but it also fits the tip of that drill bit. So it gives your drill bit something to catch on to rather than just spinning around where you want to drill, and then finally it catches, and then you run the risk of it going off center.
Yep.
These are great. Handy dandy headlamp. Line that up right in the center and push. I like to do it a couple times, especially with this hardened steel. I assume that's what these bolts are made out of, although it did break on us.
Right.
So, hardened steel my ass.
Anything?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Gotta go a couple things.
Zoom it in.
You might be able to get it to clarify on the camera.
Yeah, I need a light, but yeah, there's indentations there. There we go. There we go. Yeah, you see those small little, zoom in. Yep, those were not there, so. Yep, perfect.
We got something to follow. Line it up dead on, apply nice even pressure, and starting off slow, make sure it doesn't walk. It walked a little bit, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean off those threads there.
Okay.
Line it back up again. Pressure. Ooh, okay. So your threads are moving.
Okay.
I see them moving with this. So
we can back it
that
out.
truly hurts my soul knowing that I can't get my extension kit down there with the left-hand drill bits, because like I was saying earlier in the video, those left-hand drill bits can sometimes grab onto the threads and just pull them out while you start to drill. So now we're tightening it against the way that we want to go. So
should we loosen it? Or just...
I mean, I can try spinning it backwards, but I don't think it's going to work.
Okay.
It's always worth a shot.
Right? Nothing.
Fortunately not.
Okay.
So wonder if I can rig something up to punch in there.
Well, you see, he's cooking. You see that steam coming off the brain? He's cooking up something.
That's my head burning with that.
Right? Mike, what did you rig up?
Sometimes you gotta do some sketchy shit.
Okay.
I don't think this is gonna work, but hell, it's worth a try, right? So I just took the extractor bit, slapped it onto a vice grip, and since we already have a detent in there, the plan is to hammer this in here and hope that it grabs a little bit.
Looks like it's grabbing. No?
Nope. So it needs a bit more of a drill to actually fit in there. So fortunately, we got to go a little bit more. I don't want these threads anywhere, or the metal shavings anywhere near your intake manifold.
Right.
So.
Ooh, got some more metal.
Yeah. You don't want those anywhere near the engine bay.
Yeah. Okay, that's not it.
Well, we got a little bit of a detent in there, so.
Okay.
That looks like it might be coming.
Come on, baby.
Oh yeah, she's coming.
Right now, he's just trying to walk it out, and he.
And walk it out. And voila.
Bam! Got it.
There you are.
Back this up. So, Mike, how do you feel about that? How challenging was that?
Physically, not at all. Mentally, it took some brain power, but at the end of the day, we figured it out, and figured it out a little bit faster than I thought we would. So that's
that little guy.
That's something that I can accredit to a million strip screws in my day.
Right. Right.
That's a big win for us there. That's a big win.
Right.
So now, he's getting the new bolt in on Tuesday, you said?
Yep.
New bolt coming in on Tuesday. So, we saved him an intake manifold gasket.
Yep.
Clearly we know he's not leaking.
Yep.
So as soon as that bolt comes in, he can pull out a 1/4 inch wrench and not over torque it this time.
There we go.
We learn from our mistakes.
Might had to throw it in. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn. So
that's all right. That's
all right. And we will do that install.
That's how we learn, right? I've broken so many bolts in my day, man. It just happens. You're not a mechanic if you don't break bolts. So.
Right. Right.
It happens.
Man, I am so appreciative of that guy right there. Okay. Because he just, like I said, make friends, guys. Make friends, because you never know where you're gonna be in a pickle. And well, we got the bolt coming in about 3 days, so we're gonna get that done. And yeah, guys, so appreciate my boy Mike for hooking me up. Mike the magician right there. Boy, you saw that steam coming off that brain when he was thinking about all that stuff. So yeah, so super appreciative of having brothers and friends like Mike, man. So we're gonna close it out right there. So I'll have a part 2 and just clamping it down. Well, do I even need a part 2? I probably don't. Assume that it's been clamped down, it's been fixed. I don't need to bore you with putting it back together to completion. It's like gonna be like a 1 minute video. So yeah, yeah, man, go make some friends. Thank you for tuning in, and stay forward to the next video. Bye. 150 mg LSD, take it 150 mg LSD, 150 mg LSD. Notice anything LSD, baby, notice me, cause you know it's me. 1G LSD, 1G a triple G's, 1D a double D's, baby, come show your double D's. Right around in D's, gunning and cheesy, baby. Want it, baby, you know that I need it, baby. Want it, baby, you know that I see it, baby. Flaunt it. And then down and I, feeling 99, you got it, darling.